the final 1 p.m. game on our card. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3-2, 2-0 on the road at the Pittsburgh Steelers, 1-4, 0-2 at home, Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 58 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. Let's move on to the line history here in this one. Bucks Steelers. Let's see how this one's going to bang out. We have this total dropping, but let's talk about the spread first and foremost. Tampa Bay opening -7.5 at -107. I know there's 8s in a lot of books. This is -7.5 at -112 at Pinnacle. From a total standpoint, as I said, dropping. I guess I was looking at an offshore opener that wasn't Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened this at 43. It's now at 44. So it's gone up a point over there. Let's take a look at the cash flow here in this one. We have, where is it? Sorry, here we go. We have slight line value towards Tampa Bay. There's 10,075 tickets in. But listen to this, 19% of the tickets are on the Steelers and 43% of the cash. So expecting a bounce-back performance after the debacle in Buffalo. 67% of tickets on the over and 91% of cash on that over. Sanka, it is great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Bucs snapped their two-game losing streak with a 21-15 win at home over the Falcons. 11-0 now for Tom Brady versus Atlanta, including, of course, the Super Bowl comeback win. And he hasn't lost 3 straight starts since 2002. Brady, 35 of 52 for 351 yards and a touchdown. Fournette ran 14 times for 56 yards and a touchdown. Caught 10 for 83 and a touchdown. Mike Evans caught 4 passes for 81 yards and Godwin 6 for 61. Rookie tight end Cade Otton looked good, 6 receptions. Bucs defense bounced back from last week's horrific performance, or 2 weeks ago against the Chiefs. Finished with 5 sacks and 10 quarterback hits, and they're still dealing with a ton of injuries. So you have Julio Jones with a knee injury, Rashad Perriman with a knee and hamstring injury. You have safety Logan Ryan with a foot injury. Cameron Brate still in concussion protocol. Defensive lineman Akeem Hicks out with the foot injury. They were all inactive, and they lost 3 defensive backs in the second half. Starting quarterback Carlton Davis was the first to go out with a hip injury. Then Sean Murphy-Bunting and safety Mike Edwards left the game. So there's a ton of injuries right now with this Buccaneers team on both sides of the ball. Steelers coming off their 4th straight loss, 38-3 setback. They were the biggest underdogs in the history of their franchise, and they showed why. Down 31-3 at the half to a team that was missing 3 wide receivers and their starting tight end. The loss was the biggest margin of defeat since 1989. Kenny Pickett's first career start, 34-52, 327 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. George Pickens got 8 for 83. Deontay Johnson, 5 for 60. And there was a Chase Claypool sighting finally, 5 for 50 for him. They got nothing at all out of their run game. 17 carries for 54 yards. Their defense was atrocious. And they have now even more injuries. So let's just go over the situation with the Steelers' injuries. TJ Watt, Terrell Edmonds, their starting safety. Their starting cornerback, Ahkello Witherspoon. Now, Edmonds is in concussion protocol. Ahkello Witherspoon dealing with a hamstring injury. Then they lose cornerback Cam Sutton with a hamstring injury during the game. They lose tackle Larry Ogunjobi to a back injury during the game. Minkah Fitzpatrick has a knee injury that's going to be monitored all week. Their cornerback Levi Wallace is in concussion protocol. He did have an interception before he went out. That's a lot to deal with. And then to make matters worse, they lose Pat Freiermuth to a concussion in the 3rd quarter. This is a team that ranks 30th in yards per play this season, 4.8 yards per snap. This is a team that's in trouble. And the Bucs aren't doing it much offensively either. 20th in yards per play, averaging 5.3 yards per snap. Take it away here for us, Andy. The Bucs at Steelers.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett, he gives you an opportunity for some bigger plays than Mitch Trubisky, but some of those bigger plays are going to be heading in the opposite direction. He is a walking interception so far. I kind of like that he's, I kind of like that he's willing to just go out there and play. Like, he's not tentative at all. Maybe he turns out all right, but man, talk about 2 weeks in a row going up against, and again, it's a Buffalo team that I think defense isn't as good as it's been in years past. It's still a good defense. Now going up against another tough defense here, at home at least. But, I have Tampa Bay as a much worse offense, and a lot of that is just, due to the injuries. Like, obviously Buffalo's great. Like, I don't know what you can say about Josh Allen. He's your MVP, honestly. He's my MVP right now. So, like, that's just a really tough ask for the kid. They should have put him in the week before when they had all this time to prep. They had 10 days of the game before. This is the other half of my teaser leg. This is 8 at most places. Like, this is going with the Jags. So I have Bucks -2, Jags +8 as a teaser. This is a low total. I don't think it's wise to lay a big number like this on the road with an offense that has struggled a little despite how bad Pittsburgh's looked. And that said, Tampa still may cover this. There are so many injuries to this Pittsburgh defense, like losing the heart of your defense and TJ Watt right away, and then having multiple other injuries to not only the pass rush, the front seven, but Christ on a bicycle, like the whole secondary, including Fitzpatrick. Like, that's super important. This whole defense is banged up. Tampa Bay might just run Lenny 25 times, throw him the ball 10 more times, hit some tight ends, and call it a day. Like, this could be another ugly one. Pittsburgh should tank at this point. Like, they should go get themselves another quarterback. But this is another lower total. I like this a lot in the teaser.
Interesting teaser. DX Filer said he was looking at that very teaser. Bucks -2, Jags +8 for Andy. We have different looks here. We have our guy Sky Dragon, Pittsburgh, and the under. And then we have Toite Latte with Bucks team total over 26.5 and alternate spread -13.5 at +160. Says Buffalo could have won by 50 last week. Michael,
yeah, they really could have.
Easily. Yeah. And he's even looking at the -20.5 +360. Leo said it says easy lay with the Bucks. Only way this game is close is if Kyle Trask starts. Mike Morris in the house. What's happening? Michael Everlina says Pitt just got throttled trying to pass and keep up with Buffalo. They're going to run, keep the ball out of Brady's hands. DX Father says taking any team with Tampa is tough because they just don't care how they win.
Yeah, so I like the teaser. And to your point, like, the Bucks defense, very good if they do have a weakness, and it's still not a weakness. It's still, they're a very above average run defense. That's a slight weakness. They can give up some runs. So I would absolutely, that would be my game plan, is to run the ball quite a bit. To kind of do what you did with Mac Jones in New England last year. Take the ball out of his hands. Don't ask a lot out of him. And try to keep the ball on your side not on your side of the field. I think they'll be doing that anyway, but try to keep the ball in your hands, win the time of possession, win ugly. That's how you compete, I think, in this one.
Buccaneers, Steelers, no move for me at this point. Like, I can understand the breakdown towards the under very easily, but sitting here and seeing that 67% of tickets and 91% cash is on the over and it's gone up a point would be enough to keep me off of it at this point. But I get it. I like your teaser as well.